What made you What made you jump to that conclusion?
I've never seen them in anything other than yellow, and maybe green. Like they never went red and gray. It just looked like Raw colors. Like look how they match with the Fiend side of the thing. I still see them going to Raw. Like that would be the dose of energy Raw needs, and they can take all these women too on Raw too, because they have no women wrestlers over there. Fucking Raw.
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe. Ow, ow,
Hey, hey, hey! Oh,
Check out the market, man. He should. I hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous. Hey! She gets top billing for a change. That's so
she always
good.
get top billing.
No, you always throw the other two. You always throw the other two up first.
No,
They always have that opening, and I react, and I don't see it coming. Today we get Billy Kay.
Are you trying to say I give you the Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce RKO out of nowhere?
Out of nowhere, each week, every week. Never see it coming. Like it's like you're counting 3, 2, 1 to do a Claymore. I can hear you counting, but I still don't see it coming.
Welcome everyone to another edition of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I am, of course, Lord Manny Hayes, and I'm joined by
Marcus the
Do you need oxygen?
No. I feel like I could have went longer. But I'm good.
So it is another freezing cold day here in jolly old England, Marcus. If I give you the temperature right now, it is 3 degrees Celsius, which I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit.
Hold on. If it's 3 degrees, that means it's 2 degrees Celsius from last time. You are at 38 degrees.
Yep. It is now 37 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh, check out me for knowing stuff. I'm sorry, Manny. I'm sorry. I apologize for any code that we're giving you to. But, I'm wearing this hoodie for no reason. It is 77 degrees here in Long Beach. Another beautiful day here in sunny California where it never rains. It may be a drought, but it never rains, it never pours, and it's always a beautiful day outside. When I open my curtain, the sun shines on me, and God blesses me with the rays of sunshine every single day.
Are you trying to say I'm being punished by God?
Yeah. But we got different gods. I have American God, you have English God. They're completely different people. I don't even know what that means.
Right. Let's get right into the show, Marcus.
All right, let's go.
Takeover
Wargames
took place on the
Wargames,
and I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best takeover this year, but I definitely enjoyed it. How about you?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really well put together show that I got 2 War Games matches as the bread, and then I got a physical match with Ciampa and Thatcher as some meat, as well as a triple threat match and a strap match in between there. Maybe it was a little unnecessary to have some of those matches, but you know what? It all worked out. It was four different matches, and I liked it.
I liked how different the women's and the men's War Games matches were, even though, like, in theory, on paper they are basically the same type of match, but they've managed to pull something off different in each way.
Yeah, even the starts to the matches, in which it came off as more technical with Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly, where they both had strategy to try to cripple the other man. But and then the women's was more like, we're gonna throw every weapon in the book in there. Even though I disagree with a lot of stuff in the women's match.
Well, from what I saw, it was kind of botchy all the way through.
Yeah.
Here and there, mistakes happen in those types of matches. But then I've got to give it to fucking Io Shirai climbing on top of that cage with a trash can, or as I call it, a bin, and put it on and just leap with that on. Because I don't know about you, if you put a bin on, I'm not flying and landing on something. I'm falling directly down.
Yeah. There's zero athletic ability in me, and I would have just fell straight down, and I would have hit a rope and spun around, and everybody be like, "Cut the cameras off. Maybe we shouldn't finish the show." And then you can just see them tear that trash can, and then kicking me out of the ring and continuing the show. That's what would have happened if I was in there.
And then I thought this match was a star-making performance by Raquel Gonzalez.
Oh yeah. I feel like the whole spotlight was on Raquel.
Because I thought Toni Storm and Ember Moon were going to get something in this match, but neither really did. Like, Ember got her spot, but that was about it, because all she did was take an ass whooping, and so did Dakota Kai.
Yeah, the stars of this match, and I feel like there were only like 3 stars in this match. Everybody else kind of went invisible at some point. I mean, everybody had like a little moment here and there, but as soon as Io Shirai jumped off with the trash can, even though she was an idiot the entire match until that point, Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, I felt like brought her onto the table. She was whooping ass the entire match. Like from the beginning, she started all the way up to the end. She was extremely active in helping and attacking people in every different way. I did enjoy the spot of Ember Moon's eclipse onto the chair. It looked like it was the most painful thing to take all night, to be honest.
It looked more painful for her.
Yeah. Like, I was like, oh, she just bust her ass and all that.
That was the dumbest thing to do. Because, like, it was like, you're coming down at such force and you landed on a chair at the same on the same spot.
Yeah.
Not a good move really painful.
No, looked really painful. But here's my problems with this match. Number 1, Io Shirai looked like an idiot not getting into the cage. I just feel like it was stupid that she kept going. She'd get kicked out by Raquel or somebody, fall back, and I was like, okay, they have a strategy. But then she'd go grab another weapon instead of when the door opens, and then get kicked out again. And I'm like, why? You don't need the weapons. You don't get in there. But it did lead to the jump, which I did like. Like, I wish that could have been done better. Also, in both matches, I was kind of annoyed by where the weapons were all placed in the same spot.
Well, in the same spot, like everyone couldn't just grab them all and put them in the ring.
Yeah, like everything was just under that, like the staircase and everything. And I was like, oh, couldn't they mix this up a little bit? Like, I don't know where you could put some of these weapons, but just maybe the other side of the ring, maybe, or something, just to change it up. Because I was so sick of everybody going, this is where the weapons are.
Yeah.
It was very video gamey in which you have to go to his exact spot to get a weapon, and you don't know what weapon's coming out. And like, then, even McAfee and his 8,000 tables were under there.
Well, he looked tired after he pulled those tables in the ring.
That was a lot of work. That was some manual labor right there. That was the day of the life of working at Home Depot. It looked like putting all that wood
another
out.
star-making performance by him.
Oh yeah, I mean he didn't do much, but whenever he did stuff, it was entertaining. The swanton in which he just falls onto the ground basically because they missed the catch, which is I was like, damn, they didn't catch him at all.
And then he sold it. And then he sold it on his show the next day. He's wearing a neck brace, and he's like, I'm waiting for reports to see what's broken and all this shit. And then someone, and I think an NFL analyst is on there saying, maybe you're going to need a back brace tomorrow. What, did you just have all this stuff ready for this? And then I was fucking upside down. Pat McAfee may be the breakout star of NXT this year.
Well, still, considering that they had Karrion Kross make his debut, Keith Lee, you know, and all his shenanigans this year. And then Pat McAfee, Legado del Fantasma, all these people with all this performance, and Pat McAfee has upstaged them all. We're just doing basic stuff.
Again, you don't need to do too much to get over. You just need to be able to tell a bloody story, which is what, when I see the news report this week about Charlotte Flair, when she returns to the ring, she may be put with Andrade. Hopefully that Charlotte's star power may rub off on him. I don't think that's going to work, because end of the day, he still has to be able to tell a story, and it's more difficult for people that have English as a second language, for instance, like Cesaro, to fully get over with a global crowd.
Yeah.
Your wrestling may be perfect, but if you can't do the other stuff, which is tell the story, you ain't going to succeed. Yeah,
and that's a lot. That's for a lot of wrestlers. If your communication isn't working, like for Asuka to be as far as she can, with her English isn't the best, but she does enough that it does like connect. Before when she was on the main roster, it wasn't actually connected with anything because she would just yell things in English. Now they let her speak a little Japanese, and she's she's supposed to be a little crazy now, so you can say whatever. But it does actually connect now, that you actually feel sympathy for her or believe her story. And a lot of wrestlers don't really do that. Like,
but you also got to realize
Ricochet struggling and stuff. Go ahead.
You also got to realize, like, do you know, like some of the top draws in WWE? Look at them. Basic moveset. Basic. John Cena, Steve Austin. They could all wrestle, but basic moveset. Hulk Hogan. I would even say Undertaker at times. That is a basic moveset.
Yeah, like a lot of the wrestlers that are the top draws and stars of the business. And you can even go into the modern era in which you're talking about either Roman or Becky. They're basic. Becky is the most basic wrestler in the world. She has no submissions. She has none of athleticism that a lot of wrestlers have. But she gets over with her mouth, and that sounds terrible, but she talks a big game. She talks a lot of shit. For McAfee to only just do like a moonsault, a senton, jump through a table, and then take a Canadian Destroyer. Why the hell did he kick out that Canadian Destroyer, Manny?
I don't know. I don't even know if that was meant to happen. Do you think that was meant to happen? I don't think that was meant to happen.
I think it was meant to happen. Adam Cole's reaction made me believe that was meant to happen. His reaction of, what the fuck? I killed this dude. I guess to let him keep some of his street cred for whenever he has another match.
Yeah.
And technically, that's not even Adam Cole's finisher. He does it every match, but, you know, it should be his finisher. His finisher is the last shot or whatever it's called, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was upset when he kicked out. I'm upset when anybody kick out a Canadian Destroyer, but not as upset as I was in the women's match when I see Rhea Ripley swinging a hammer around, hitting people, and them getting up later. I did not like that at all. I hated that. I was like, that's a fucking hammer. No one sell the hammer.
That's the thing. Triple H made a career of killing people with sledgehammers.
Yeah.
And we see this happen. I'm just like...
Rhea Ripley, doink, doink. I'm like, they're dead. They're dead. No one's getting up. Also in the women's war game, Candice LeRae got hurt.
Yeah, she broke her arm. And then in the men's war games, we have lacerations to Bobby Fish's arm and Oney Lorcan's face.
Like he got fucked up. He was bleeding a lot, and I was like, "Oh, this is happening." There's a lot of lacerations, but overall, I thought the physicality, the fact that it was a War Games match, it felt very War Gamesy. The men's one I felt was better overall, but it was a really good show. I enjoyed both matches.
And then obviously, Leon Ruff has now lost the North American title to now 3-time champion Johnny Gargano. But we saw some stuff from Leon Ruff that we haven't seen before.
Yep.
Like we said on the pre-show on Saturday, looked good. Really looked good. I did really enjoy when Damian Priest razor edged him through that barricade.
Yeah, that was great. And no, I didn't. You know, I enjoyed the Razor Edge through the barricade, but not as much as I enjoyed Priest's reaction. Look at you, baby, dude. I didn't want to have to do this. Like, I believe.
Stay out my way.
I enjoyed the sympathetic part of that. I don't want to hurt you. I'm just here for Johnny, and that he is thinking Leon Ruff is a joke, and he's like, and then he has to actually do it. He has to do the thing that he doesn't really want to do, and that's kill Leon Ruff because he's so like in the way of everything. What did you think of all the Ghostface men that showed up in the match? Like it was like the return of Retribution.
I did enjoy the tweet from I can't remember his name now.
T-Bar,
where he said that's where all the guys from Retribution went. That was in. I didn't think it was necessary. I feel like the reveal of just one of them would have been fine.
Yeah, like I feel like it was like what 30-0? Like why? Like when did Gargano get a cult or a gang? But just having the one would have worked with Theory hitting it with the lead pipe or whatnot. Or you could have did two, maybe two.
Yeah, but now it's just like, where do we go from here? Because now it's Johnny and Candice with the kids, Indy and Austin.
Well, I don't think it's going to be Candice anymore. It might just be Gargano, Candice around. But Candice and Indy may be around, but maybe Indy or Hartwell do all the matches.
Well, with a broken arm, Candice can like still be around NXT. Just not necessarily walking, doing spots and stuff.
Maybe she'll use the cast as a weapon to help Johnny win matches.
Possibly.
That can work out. I can feel Theory's going the MJF route, in which he's hanging around a hill, and eventually they turn on each other, and they feud for that North American title.
Yeah.
But hopefully not that fast.
But surely, if you, I know if being a part of HR, that man quit. I filed that paperwork. He can't come back to work just like that.
I don't know. You don't know if he filed that paperwork.
You may show up. If you tell me you quit, I'm filing the paperwork. You're done. I'm not paying you no more.
Maybe him and Will Regal work something out. He talks to him like, you don't have to quit. You're only 23. You're still learning. Come on. We work it out. And maybe Gargano talked to him. They talked about quitting. He just didn't have to show up for a few weeks. So maybe that's the case. What did you think of Thatcher and Ciampa?
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Hard-hitting match. But this is what we get from Timothy Thatcher. I expect that from Timothy Thatcher. I need Timothy Thatcher to win matches. Like we said on Saturday, I remember saying, you wanted Thatcher to win. And I was like, well, God, Ciampa hasn't really won in a while, so he's going to win. And that's just the route it was going down. I just like, Thatcher's now essentially just a jobber, and it's sad.
I don't find it sad. I mean, there's some good wrestlers. Like, I wouldn't consider him a jobber. I consider him enhancement talent.
Yeah, but someone like him, even though he's got this rugged look, can be a good asset to NXT.
Oh, absolutely. Like, to me, his style would be what I prefer most wrestlers would go around, which it has this almost realistic, like, we're actually wrestling and actually hitting each other and doing physical stuff. And, occasionally you can do a spot here and there, and, but...
Which is more reason for me to have him lead the American part of Imperium, because the other boys are stuck in the US.
If Walter would be on the phone, I need you to take over these guys.
American chapter, that's the word I was looking for.
No, you already missed it. You already missed your spot. You can't use it now. No, but yeah, it would be nice if he was just with, Eichner and Bartel and going like, Walter's put me in charge. We're going to keep this ring sacred. And, if he would, I feel like he would be a better North American champion. It would give that title more variety.
Yeah.
In which it's not just like the world title or, cruiserweight title in which it's just a match. But the North American title is basically like, you're going to get your ass whooped if we might defend this title. Or fight for this title.
But that's the thing right now. Like, the North American title has a bigger pool of people going for it rather than the NXT title. And that's a little bit, like, weird. Because, I
don't think so. I think it's about the same. This is about
No, because there's a few top guys now. Like
you got
Johnny
Ciampa.
Gargano. Yeah, Johnny Gargano shouldn't be lurking around that area of the North American title. He should be up with the NXT title. But like, there's more reason that they need to move people around. They need to move people to the other two rosters because the NXT's suffering with like how crowded their roster is.
Yeah,
and their divisions are.
Yeah, that's true. But some of these people still gotta really learn to like do stuff like Mike Skills. Although I believe the people who need to go, but I know they would do maybe they won't get the justice they feel the main roster. Undisputed Era needs to go to the main roster, even though they may just get beat up most of the time.
Well, the only people that I think are going to survive that move up to the main roster of the Undisputed Era will be Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. I don't think as good as they are, Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong are as marketable as the other two.
Yeah, I mean they can be into that weak ass tag team division that they have overall. Now, would you split them up and put 2 on 2 shows, like 2 on SmackDown, 2 on Raw? Or would you just try to keep them together?
I would keep them together because I like where they're going in terms of like where WWE is at now because it's like a faction kind of thing, but it's mostly only happening on Raw.
Yeah, with Retribution and Hurt Business, whatever the hell Miz and Morrison are.
Yeah, but like I feel like that should be happening. Like we should have more factions, just like how AEW have factions, and like when everything is a fucking faction when you look at New Japan.
Yeah, you're either Chaos, DDT,
which is great.
Click, Bullet
for
Club.
Me, which is great to look of, and then where people move around, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's like the UFC when you're like you're the part of the Black Zilla team or America Top Team or whatever. You know, whatever their groups of gyms and martial arts styles are. I do like that. If you're like, this is my camp and I represent hard. See you, Nick. I don't know. But,
yeah.
But I don't see Vince McMahon ever doing that. No matter what. I don't see that happening.
There was a time where it happened. You not remember the Los Baricuas versus What was the biker gang called?
DOA.
Yeah, DOA. We had a few others as well.
The Nation. Yeah, you had every race had their own gang.
Yeah.
And some were better than most. And you had the frat boys known as DX. So it's an interesting situation with that. I don't know if we're going to get that era again, and it's only on Raw. Although the more people you put on Raw, the better it could probably get.
Well, to be fair, when help. Jimmy comes back, I'm hoping that we get the full bloodline.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How mad would you be though if like Nia Jax got added to the bloodline?
I would be mad.
Or Tamina.
I would have had everybody. Tamina, Nia Jax, all the Usos, Tamatonga, Tamalo, the Gorillas. I want every Samoan in that. I really want him to be just insanely like the most insane faction of all time. And like it is completely race bias. Like no one else is getting in. No. Simple as that. You're not Rikishi. You can't get in.
Is there anything else you want to cover on Wargames, or should we move on over to Raw?
Not really. What do you think of the strap match, real quick?
It was there. I enjoyed the comedy about it, but like it kind of just happened.
That was just the most. This needs to be on regular Wednesday night strap match I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad.
It didn't need to be on TakeOver, to be honest.
It's not like the show went long or anything. It was just more like this doesn't fit a TakeOver type of feud. Considering the people we have left off, whether it's Legado del Fantasma, the Cruiserweight title, we don't really need this.
Yeah. And also, before we move on, we did Karrion Kross is back, essentially. He's just announced himself as coming back.
Yeah, he had a clock, and I hated how the announcers responded to that. Going like, what could that mean? It's that TikTok! It's like one person over there walking around with a goddamn clock.
Lana.
Yep. Lana's on death row right now.
So, Monday Night Raw. It opens up with Randy Orton, and I'm not going to lie, his opening line was fire.
Yeah.
Any ordinary man would tremble at the mere thought of facing the Fiend, but I am no ordinary man. I smashed my moral compass many years ago, and there is no boundary I will not cross, unlike the Fiend. I don't wear a mask to let the darkness out. To let the darkness show for the world to see. When the time comes, I'm going to stare the devil right in the eye and let him know the most evil son of a bitch on the planet has come home. Evil!
Damn! Evil! Evil! Hey, since he's supplied that he's evil, NXT was advertising New Year's Evil, Raw NXT crossover with Triple H talking about open regular other brands. Here comes Raw. NXT Evil. By the way, after seeing that, what do you think NXT Evil is going to be all about? Do you think they have evil from New Japan?
No, not even. Although that is normally the time New Japan contracts seem to run out.
Yep, right after Wrestle Kingdom. It's like 2 days after Wrestle Kingdom. So that means he'll do Wrestle Kingdom and immediately jump on a flight and go see his wife. Bang. Back
maybe he wants to spend time with his wife.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense.
That's got to be an incredibly difficult relationship right now, especially with all the restrictions and everything.
Yeah. I can see him just being at home like, fuck, man. This is terrible. I'm all alone again. And then, she'll come visit maybe once every 6 months. Whatever it is. Hey, how you doing? I got quarantine for 2 weeks, but eventually we'll talk for one day, and then I gotta fly back. But no, it's gotta be terrible. One of them has to make a move.
Yeah,
but that being said,
I definitely see it's them because they can work a show together, couldn't they? The downfall is Evil is going to be in the exact kind of situation EO is in, where English isn't really strong. So NXT is probably the best place to keep them there, because EO should be on SmackDown by now, I think.
Manny, what if they are a part of Boa and Xia Li's storyline?
No, I don't want that.
Evil is that mistress under that. We thought it was a woman all the time, but he just got long nails. It's Evil.
I really don't want that to happen. You know for a fact that person is going to be unleashed on New Year's Evil.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Although part of me wants Tessa Blanchard to be announced at New Year's Evil. The racist is here. New Year's Evil's upon us.
It is a new type of evil. Evil that exists from all time. Cultural racist evil. I'm looking forward to New Year's Evil just because. But I think it's just gonna be Baszler versus Cross.
Probably.
Maybe it's a demon. Maybe a demon returned.
Randy wants a match with Bray later tonight, and which Bray accepts. So we move into Asuka versus Shayna Baszler. We learn that Asuka and Lana have a tag team title shot at TLC. Mm-hmm. They're losing them titles.
Why is this not a tables match?
I'm sure it's going to be announced that it's going to be a tables match at some point.
Right? They have the stupid stipulation for Drew and AJ as being a table title chair match, even though they have never wrestled before, as AJ pointed out. And a match that needs a stipulation, a tables match, right there is given to them, and they chose not to announce it.
I tell you what, Marcus, that wasn't stupid. What was stupid is what the Baszler and Nia were talking about before they came out in the ring. Lana's going to look ugly when they're done with her. She's going to her front is going to look like her back, and her back is going to look like her front. And then Nia is going to have back boobs.
She's going to have boobs in the back. Let's go. I was actually for that.
Some people have those already. Fat people tend to have those.
Oh, yeah. Not intentionally. But I enjoyed. I thought it was a solid match. It was pretty good. I enjoyed this segment to an extent, but it was an extent when I was watching this show when I was like, this doesn't live up to every other show I watch. I understand what they were doing. They're telling the story well. Doesn't mean I have to like it. I'm interested, but not interested. I just want to see a lot of them go to the table. Lana's Hurricanrana on Nia Jax.
I kind of like that Lana's learned after 9 times of going through tables that she's learned some escapes.
Yeah, get the hell out, do a Hurricanrana. I enjoy the storyline, but maybe for all the wrong reasons. Mostly because I want to see the development of Lana and where it goes. Well, and that might be the wrong answer for this. No, but Lana's success and development is what I'm paying attention to more than Asuka being champion or Shayna and Nia having those tag titles.
Well, Asuka where's Women's champion is taking a real downfall because it just looks like there's no one to challenge her.
Yes. And there's too many women in NXT for them not to do this.
Yeah. And then
you can throw any one of them up there and it's like, well, that's a contender. I don't even care if it was Dakota Kai by herself. I go, oh shit, Asuka might be in trouble.
So in the back, Riddle is looking for MVP as he's got a prototype of the bro nuts.
Got somebody's bro nuts in his hands.
While Ricochet and Dana Brooke are talking strategy. Then Ricochet says he isn't opposed to being on a team. He is opposed to being on a team of jackasses. But they do have one thing, right? And that's strength in numbers. However, I don't think Dana Brooke is the first person I would be looking for in strength in numbers.
No. I mean, between them, they're under. If this was AEW, they're under 500 team. They neither one of them win matches. I wouldn't pick either one of them if I was the strength in numbers.
This is like picking Brandy Rhodes as a tag partner, hoping Cody's going to come save you. No, it ain't happening.
No, you're in trouble. Like, when I saw this pairing of a team, and I was like, they're going to get Slapjack and Mia Yim, and I was like, they're going to win that match. Just because of the story they're telling. I'm like, I guess.
And then the match happened.
Yeah.
Mustafa Ali was furious with both of them after the match.
Yep.
Just another loss for Retribution. Just unnecessary.
So where do you think they're going with these losses?
He starts kicking people out.
Yeah, I think he needs to minimize it. Just make it him and T-Bar. And, I guess Dio Manica, he has size. And you should be okay. You never needed me and Yim in that group. Or Slapjack. Like, when Slapjack started talking in his Australian accent, I was like, we don't need this.
Yeah.
He don't need this Aussie in this group.
So.
It's one too many.
We get to the segment that made me quit watching Raw this morning. Only to pick it back up later in the afternoon. Miz TV with AJ Styles.
Yes.
AJ Styles is going to hit Drew with chairs and put him through tables, and AJ is climbing the ladder to become champion, is what he said, which leads to Miz and Morrison doing impressions of Drew and Sheamus, also hinting that Sheamus is going to turn on Drew. Sheamus comes out and states if he isn't going to turn on Drew, but their accents reminded him of home, and if he was in a pub in Dublin, basically he'd fuck him up.
Yeah, it's something about nail him to the board, and I was like, some of that sounds illegal. But I don't know the Irish laws. I think that's laws anywhere.
Yeah, and then Drew now joins Sheamus. He tells AJ Styles he doesn't make threats, he makes promises, and refers to AJ Styles and Omos as the jackass and the beanstalk. What did you make of this segment, Marcus? Because I am now a bit over it because it's so cringe at times. I don't know how the writers are writing this and they're intending it to be cringy.
I don't know.
Or is
one person I feel like delivered their lines right was AJ, who was like, we're fighting. He looked very comfortable. And then he was like, hey, it's 2-0. We even up the score or it's handicap match, but you got the math wrong. It's 4-2. Almost. Right? Almost. And,
Almost counts as like 3 people. He's a giant.
Yeah, but he doesn't do anything. And just when they get to the main event, I'm like, he may do something here. Doesn't do anything.
Well, your explanation is the Jets on Sunday, where they almost won a game and they jetted it up and lost in the last second.
They added a tank to that jet. There was no way that should have worked. They weren't playing. That dude was going at half speed. I saw it. I saw the whole thing. Absolutely disgrace. But yeah, I was like, how are they doing this segment? Considering what I've watched with NXT AEW, SmackDown, and any other wrestling show. Who is producing this Raw segment? Going like, oh,
it's so bad.
Like, we don't need this. We don't need this.
Which leads to Kofi Kingston versus Shelton Benjamin. I like the commentary throwing a throwback to this being a ECW callback feud.
Yes. I looked at Ryan and I went, hey, this is 7 years in the making or more. This has to be like 20 years in the making.
No, because do you know what? If Kofi was going to hit that Trouble in Paradise, I needed the claps to go with it.
Boom! Boom! It looks like there's going to be trouble in paradise. I don't know why I went with Barney Rubble instead of a Jamaican accent. But I enjoyed their 2 minutes of wrestling, and I don't know if I fell for it or not, but I felt like Kofi really was hurt after that monkey flip. Like, I feel like he really moved his...
I think you fell for it.
I feel like I fell for it, but I feel like he really pulled a hamstring.
But I don't know what... So Cedric sounded kind of cool last week when he was on the mic. This week he sounded like a screechy child.
He like lost his voice. I don't know where he lost...
I was like, what is wrong with this guy?
He lost his voice doing God knows what. Maybe arguing with Big Swole. Who knows?
Like he would lose in an argument with Big Swole.
Yeah, that's why he lost his voice. He was really trying. He tried to go. He tried to win the argument by going loud, and that doesn't work. He still lost. But he had no voice, and you get the classic Woods line of "You're a better man than me, Kofi. I would give him nothing. I give him nothing.
I wouldn't give him anything.
They haven't won. They haven't won ever. And it's just, to me, as much as, you know, we see Lana's exposed. I mean, not Lana. Asuka doesn't have anybody who doesn't have an opponent. It's also the New Day in this tag team division have no opponent. Like, we're just here.
But then we do lead to 2 consecutive, relatively big wins for Cedric in 2 weeks. He's got a win over Woods, Cedric got a win over Kofi. So this feud's obviously going somewhere. It's just like, I need a break from the Hurt Business a bit because I feel like they have been crushing it since March. No, well, MVP alone has been crushing it since March. The formation of the group, it just feels like they're being thrown at us a bit too much, and it's just like, give us a little bit of a week break or something. Give me something to miss. I don't need them every week because you're kind of diluting them at the moment.
I'm okay with them every week because they got to fill their spot. They got to fill these 3 hours. And they're stuck with not having it. But I don't need this tag team feud that they have with Shelton and Cedric, which seems like it's a Shelton getting kicked out of the group kind of deal. And I was more pro the Riddle Bobby Lashley feud more than any of it. Like, if we were just getting that and, you know, Cedric can do it. But you also want Cedric to have, I guess, some exposure. You got to try to... It seems like they're really trying to develop Cedric. That's the whole plan right now.
Yeah, but then where does that... I feel like they've also got to do something with Ricochet. While he floats around in adversity.
Ricochet's going nowhere. Once you team up with Dana Brooke, I mean, you won the match, but did you really win anything?
Ricochet looks like someone that's like one of the players in Among Us has been ejected into space. Just going nowhere.
It's like, oh, here I am. All this athletic talent, but nothing to do with it. Like, no charisma. No one has no story to go with this.
The problem is he has charisma. It's just he doesn't know how to, like, do other bits with it. Like, there's nothing in his arsenal other than flips and cool moves.
Well, I would say at least he's in a better spot than Apollo Crews, who had a moment this year of elevating, getting better on the mic and everything, and then trade to SmackDown and never see it again. So
Chris says should have put Truth in the group and made him more Ron Killings like.
I like Truth.
Yeah, I can see that. I could see that, but I think Vince likes what Truth does because Truth generally makes Vince McMahon laugh.
Yeah. I think he makes most people laugh, and I feel like that's where he's at right now. And to take Truth serious at whatever 49 or whatever how old he is, It's kind of late.
Truth still moves better than MVP, and Truth's older than MVP.
He is. He does.
It's all that believing he's been doing.
It's been a believing it. Vaseline on your face and believing time doesn't exist.
So we get the Drew McIntyre and Sheamus versus Miz and Morrison and AJ Styles match. They play on the tension between Drew and Sheamus more as they nearly hit each other outside the ring, but then they catch Morrison, launch him over the table where he lands perfectly in the chair.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I don't even know. You couldn't have planned it. That's how great that land in the chair was. Like when they threw him, I went, oh! And he landed in the chair, I went, oh! Like, wow, I'm impressed.
This match went on way too long for me.
Did it? I actually enjoyed this match. I enjoyed that, it was a handicap match, but it did seem like the Miz and Morrison have had a disadvantage.
And then, so further teasing after the match is these two glare at each other because at the end, the finish of the match was Sheamus accidentally hits Drew with the Brogue kick and loses the match after Styles hits the phenomenal forearm at him.
Yes.
And which we transition into the back with Lana talking to Asuka as she's terrified that she has to face Nia Jax next week. Where Asuka, I feel like shouldn't have done what she did. She tried. She gave Lana the belief.
Yeah. All I gotta do is believe.
Those friends set up people for bad things. If you feel like you're an ugly dude and your friend tells you you're a nice guy and stuff like that, and go ask her out. You don't know what's going to happen. Rejection is what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, here's what I thought was going to happen. I thought Asuka was going to say, I'll be in your corner. I will help you. I'm going to teach you some moves, and we're going to do our best. And you're not going to die in there. I'm not going to let her kill you. I thought that's what she was going to. But no, you got to believe in yourself, and you can do it. And I was like, no, he's going to die. And then only thing that was going through my head was, this is the end game. This is where we were going with all year. The injury Lana. Lana will probably be injured by the end of this match.
And then, so when Pumbaa turned up to stand in front of Lana, I was gonna take a screen grab of that because it looked like someone telling her Nia Jax that she's gonna have to have the vaccination for COVID, and she was furious.
Yeah. No, not me. Not me. Not today. You ain't killing me.
I don't even care if it makes me grow a third arm or develop a third eye. I'm still taking it.
Hopefully, give me superpowers. Hopefully, this is the age of when we all get superpowers and we're done with this. We don't need superhero movies anymore. And I shoot lasers out my eyes, and it's like, oh shit, this dude's badass. But then I get beat up by everybody else because lasers can only go so far.
So Chris in the chat has come out with a workaround now that I've introduced the 2 bitch per email quota. So I don't have to waste it in an email. I'll say it now. So Manny has limited my bitch words. Okay. To sum it up, that customer was a massive douche canoe. No, that's too nice. You have to come up with something better, Chris. Douche canoe is a little bit too nice.
Douche canoe. Very graphic. But I'm well for it. All for it.
Because douche canoe is on the level of penis colada.
But do you like penis colada, Manny?
No, I don't. I have used that insult though in the past.
Oh, okay.
So Drew and Sheamus beat each other up in the back, and then put Pat Buck through a table, and then both suggest to have a pint.
Go ahead.
Which is normally the setup for when me and my friends want to go to the pub. It's not even, hey Manny, do you want to go to the pub? It's pint. Question mark.
It's like, is it even a question at this point, or is it just like we're going? Is it like, pint?
Question mark? It's like okay, yeah, maybe.
Now, why is it considered going for a pint? Is it considered that you guys always just drink pints, or is it?
No, it depends on what you drink. I don't think you're a big beer drinker. I'm guessing.
I'm an alcoholic, Manny. Yes.
I'm an alcoholic, but like,
but yeah, I drink everything. I drink beer and stuff. But.
Yeah, so when you go to a pub and you order a beer, most occasions, if they're not serving it in bottles, it's normally you order it in just like a pint glass. So
okay,
give me a pint of whatever's on tap. Is normally what it is. So like we a pint of Guinness or something like that.
Yeah, we have pints and stuff, but we say we're going drinking because we don't assume that you're going to just drink beer or somebody's going to drink this. It's probably a mix of everything. That's why it's like, you guys just settled on the pint.
No, so we do drink other stuff. It's just like, because like I call it, if I have Jaeger bombs, it awakens something in me that should never be awakened.
Hey,
it's like a 20-year-old version of me that shouldn't be alive or allowed to be set free. Because the energy drink in it gives me the energy to do crazy shit.
Yeah, it's the alcoholic energy.
Well, the alcohol gives me maybe I shouldn't do that. But you combine them together, it's just like, I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I got the spinach in me. It's like Popeye and the spinach.
So we got
but backstage, this fight made me laugh. By the way,
Daniel Lewin.
Oh, what was that? I'm sorry, I cut like half of that off.
New commenter. Definitely in the UK, they never a half pint. You would only ever order a half pint if you're in a rush. But most people could neck a pint.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pint is
Chris said we need drunk Manny on the show. I believe that was like 2 weeks ago, or at least a week ago.
Still unnoticeable.
No, you noticed it once I started making various mistakes all across the show.
Did I? Yeah. I don't remember.
And then I justified it with, I have been drinking.
Yeah. I think I do remember something like that.
So we lead into... What were you going to say, Marcus, before I
about this fight? What I enjoyed Sheamus being in the back of the interview. Was like, yeah, I'm expecting you to come back and try to whoop my ass over a misunderstanding of the road kick. And then they have this fight, and then Pat Buck goes to the table. Will there be ramifications? I feel like they should suspend Sheamus and not Drew McIntyre. I feel like that would escalate the feud.
Both of them need to be suspended.
But because Drew is champion, I think he's going to get the pass and it should piss Sheamus off. Who's turning on who in this feud, though? Do you have Sheamus turn on Drew? Or there's no turn?
I don't think there's going to be a turn until after The Miz. Or the turn leads to The Miz cashing in.
Could be. Or they could just have one there like, oh, the friendly fight, and then The Miz cash in also.
Yeah.
Who knows? I honestly don't know where to go with this storyline with Drew and Sheamus. It seems like they're going for the tag team titles, to be honest. That's where I feel like it's going. Like they just seem like these two buddies are, messing around, modern APA, just drinking and fighting each other and people and having a good time. But I don't see Sheamus winning the Royal Rumble or them even having a match at Royal Rumble at this point.
Well, there's the other thing. It's just like this team up of Drew and Sheamus is missing Wade Barrett.
Yeah. Like, just bring him in. It's not like he's doing great work on NXT. He's just there. He's missed when he's not there, when Kevin Owens was there, but for the most part, he was fucking up in Wargames, so they have the event. I was like, no, they don't. He's like, they're in trouble now.
Well, Beth needs to get her act together and just get herself to the Performance Center and just start commentating in the arena. Getting tired of this shit. Getting tired of it.
I feel like she disappeared for an hour in that show.
Kevin Owens has got kids. He's there every week.
Yeah, but I guess you're right. You got a point. Valid points.
So we get Jeff Hardy versus Bobby Lashley. Before Jeff gets to the ring, Matt Riddle pitches the Hardy Bros and that they should use the Broetry in motion as a finisher, which I could get behind.
I can get behind that tag team. I could get behind them teaming together and being the Hardy Bros.
Although
it was the wrong time to ask them.
Matt Riddle will probably cause Jeff to relapse.
And someone posted they'd be really high flyers. And so I enjoyed Matt Riddle this week and his bro nuts and being. I wanted him to throw a donut at Bobby Lashley though. I wanted that to happen so bad because he was carrying him around and he walked out the ringside with him. I was like, this has to come into play. He has to throw a donut at Bobby Lashley. a nice big jelly or powdered donut or something to just go pop, which would infuriate Lashley even more to kill Jeff Hardy. Thought Lashley hit the best spear he's hit in a long time on Jeff.
I still am not sold on Bobby Lashley. I feel like he's a wasted talent.
He did good work today, though. He was solid. It was what he was given today. Like, I think him and Riddle can have a really good match, which they're leading to. I feel like that it will lead to that, but obviously the only person getting over in that match will be Riddle because they're going to probably have Lashley drop the title to him. I think Lashley might retain.
I don't know. Lashley's not doing anything with that title.
He's there with MVP. He looks good with the title. He looks like a champion. Keep building Lashley. We got to get Brock and Lashley one time before one of them dies. It's like Sting and Undertaker.
Oh, can I point out what the hell are they doing with Keith Lee? He was just involved in a backstage segment this week.
He had that WWE 24. It was like, all right, you got enough time this week. We're not putting you on TV this week. But I'd rather for him to not be on the show than to actually do something really stupid.
Because I really enjoyed that WWE 24.
It was good. It was really good.
It was really good put together. Good telling story. And then I've never seen Vince like that. Like every time they've shown Vince on screen, never seen him like that. I've seen him when he did that thing where he jumped off the fucking platform.
We showing Grande, hey man, you can live. It was like, ta-da, you can still do it. But he seemed energized. He seemed alive.
He did. He was actually coaching him on kind of his intentions. You couldn't really necessarily hear everything he was saying, but like when they showed him and like the passion in his cold eyes.
Yeah, and then even Keith Lee going like, wow, Vince got me ready. He pumped me up. He really was like talking to a coach, like, you ready to go and shit. Yeah. He's like, you're like, this is my money machine. And I don't know if he said money machine, but he was like, I just need you to, you're going to connect with the audience. We're going to do this. It's big things. We're going to do big things. I'm like, man, he's really hyped up about this.
Oh, Marcus, the end might be in here. Keith Lee was on main event.
Dude!
That's a death sentence.
No, that's like being on AEW Dark. You never come back from that. But no, I think Keith Lee's okay. I think he's okay.
I think after the Man United game tonight, I'm gonna watch the Liv Morgan documentary. I haven't watched that one yet.
You get to see the clusterfuck of what it's like to be a talent. You get to see what it's like to be Ricochet, basically, right now. Just someone that's I'm kind of around. Like that's all. It's a year of her just going like I'm around. They think they're gonna use me tonight. Nope, they don't. Oh, they have plans for me to have a new gimmick. Oh, they're not doing that. Fuck, I'm just gonna be on main event.
Speaking of main event, we get the main event is Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Rambling Rabbit knocks on the door and wishes Randy good luck.
I thought he was dead. I thought he was gonna get RKO'd out of nowhere.
And then the match happened. They went to the outside. Bray Wyatt runs off the commentary team and then cuts to break himself. Yowie wowie. We'll be right back.
I died up. My favorite thing wasn't even him going to commercial break. Was Tom Phillips hopping that fence and trying to get away, thinking that Bray was coming after. He was like, "Oh shit!" And then he's just taking the headset, going, "We'll be right back after this." But the fear in Tom Phillips' run.
I'm gonna 100% say his cut to break is way better than JR's cut to breaks on AEW.
Because they actually go to break.
And he's talking about picture in picture and going on for about 5 more minutes. And then if you're watching the feed, he's all proud of himself during the. Did you like my picture in picture thing? It was great, wasn't it?
He never gets it right. They never get it right. It's like, oh, we're about to go to commercial, but we're gonna stay with it and the exclusive picture in picture, one of a kind, only thing. And it's like dead air. And there's Excalibur. That's a nice show to take that commercial break. Like, what was that?
So, this match goes on, and then Orton goes for the RKO. The lights go out. He pins Bray Wyatt. But when the red light comes up back on, Randy is met by the Fiend as Raw ends. And Orton's being mandible clawed to death.
Yes. I have a question. Because we have two similar stories and two different promotions right now. There's the Fiend and Randy Orton. There's Abaddon and Shida in AEW. Both similar situations in which they're both being terrified by a monster. Who do you think is doing a better job of showing fear?
Randy Orton.
I know.
They buried Abaddon last week.
No, they didn't bury Abaddon.
They said all she does is cosplay.
Yeah, that's what Sheila said, but then Sheila heard something fall in the background and it was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I don't need to be here tonight. I'm not going to be in the stands tonight. I'm leaving. I'm getting on the bus. I'm getting on that midnight train to Georgia.
And, yeah, I think Randy's doing a better job because Randy always thinks he's got a one-up on the Fiend. Like last week, he was all smiling about what he's done. And then he was freaked out. And then he died this week.
Yeah, he got murdered. I enjoyed this match. I thought this is one of Bray Wyatt's best matches in years.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Was the Fiend segment pre-taped? Or can Bray Wyatt change that quickly?
Pre-taped.
No.
Pre-taped.
Incorrect. I know Bray Wyatt can change quickly. You know why?
Why
when he was
that?
sneaking around with JoJo, went against his ex-wife's back.
Oh! Oh! Dang! Wow! Wowie, Manny. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about him sneaking around with JoJo.
Yeah, we do. It happened.
We do. All the time. We do.
And to be fair, I'm not even gonna lie. He upgraded.
I don't even know who his other wife was.
I remember seeing the picture and it was definitely an upgrade. Normally when you see guys cheat and you look at the what he had and then what he cheated with, that was an upgrade. You downgraded.
I don't even know what the wife is, but I'm saying that JoJo was an upgrade. I'm going to agree with you.
But JoJo was a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me, choking a little bit. But yeah. I don't even know where we're going with this.
Anyway.
The quick change. He has mastered the quick change technique because of his days of having an affair.
Yep.
Ah! But Alexa Bliss wasn't on the show. She was off filming Punky Brewster. The reboot of Punky Brewster. Her and Charlotte. And I go what the fuck are they on that for?
That's going to make so many people angry at some point.
I don't even understand what... I'm assuming there has to be a wrestling episode. Because they can't be regular characters, right?
Well, Devon Dudley was producing it, apparently, wasn't he?
It sounded like that, yeah. But I don't know. I don't want this reboot if it's that. I don't need that. But, that was Raw. Everybody's going to forget Raw. I don't think it's going to be a memorable show.
Average.
So, my question is for you. Today's Tuesday. Tuesday night. Kenny Omega ran with the title last week. Say he's going to appear on Impact tonight.
I'm telling you now, you're doing the correspondence on Thursday about what happened on Impact.
I just want to watch clips. I can't get through a whole Impact show. It's really hard.
Well, Chris is already angry about this. What is this blasphemy? So he's clearly reacting to what Charlotte's doing.
That does sound like blasphemy. Of all the things Charlotte can do, if you really want heel heat, you reboot Punky Brewster with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. I just feel it's mostly Charlotte that's getting the heat. I don't even know why this is happening.
If only you could see the chat of what's going on. Look at this.
What? What in the blue hell? Exactly. What? It's all Chris. No. We're ruining Punky Brewster for you. And it's a reboot. It's not even like we're bringing the original cast back. I guess. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going on with this. It's just the most random, what the fuck kind of story. When I read it, I was like, oh, do you really want to go down this road? You guys sure? Devon?
So as it is Tuesday, this Kenny Omega thing is actually just a one-off.
That's what they said, but it could be more. It could be more. Who knows? Maybe they're just saying that. Meltzer's been wrong once. What's it called? Riker is back. After being released by Dave Meltzer earlier in the week.
On Main Event?
Yeah, with he's Elias's muscle now.
Oh, Jesus.
They look exactly the same. If you see an image of it, they look like two of the same people.
Do you think this is basically just them burying him enough before they release him?
He was already buried. It's not like anybody cares about him. I wouldn't even have to bury him if I wanted to get rid of him. Apologize if anybody heard that Amber Alert. But I wouldn't even have to bury Riker, right? Like, he's a nobody, technically.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything that made you go like, oh no, let's bury him. I would release him without a 90-day complete clause. Like, that's how quick it would be. He'd get released harder than anybody else on the roster. Like, if there were chopping blocks, he would probably go first. As in, I don't care if I lose this guy. Him and Lars Sullivan both.
Well, given that if he's Thing's muscle, there's already people on Raw that already have a problem with him.
Yeah. So I don't feel like, I don't know. It's just, I don't think it matters. It's something that's gonna happen. It happened. Maybe they will be a tag team. Maybe they can do some twin magic because they look exactly the same. Like, I don't even know what they're gonna do, but whatever.
I'm surprised they hadn't thought of making a band yet. for
Well, he's been a one-man band for a while. Making a band with Elias and him trying to find band members would be great. That's almost as good as Shark Tank with the Hurt Business.
No, I honestly want that to happen. Like,
yes,
obviously, Bro Nuts would be something funny to be putting on, but
Lana the Unbreakable Table, which you suggested. Lana at the table that doesn't break. Or hurts when you go through it.
Io Shirai with the bin, the trash can.
You know, when she jumped on the trash can, I feel like that spot hurt, but it wasn't as much as when Dakota Kai jumped on her when she was in the trash can. I thought those spots should have happened simultaneously. Like, she jumped, landed on everybody, everybody's like, oh, look at Io, and then all of a sudden Dakota Kai just runs over and be like, God, bitch, gotcha. Dead. But,
so,
you know, Shaq's going to be on AEW tomorrow.
Why?
Sell him and Cody's match. I forgot all about this feud, to be honest.
I don't really need it.
Come on, you know you need your Randy Rose segments.
No, again, I don't.
You do. You need a little hit, a little taste of the brandy every Wednesday night.
No.
But I feel like this Omega segment, whatever he's doing tonight, is going to be nothing. I got nothing.
Do you know what? It'll be clipped everywhere, and it will be really boring. Like, it's not even going to generate enough views for Impact.
No, the YouTube views will have more views than whatever happened.
They only get about 100,000 at maximum.
Yeah. I don't know what we're doing with this. You know,
and is it not going to take away from the who shot whoever thing that's going on?
When they got somebody got shot, like that should be the number one story. Don't care what it is. But that didn't even generate buzz. Plus, it's a black hole for buzz. But I don't need this.
Chris is having a bad day. First, Marcus hurt my soul with Punky Brewster spoilers. Now my governor has interrupted my Judge Judy with a COVID vaccine conference.
He's shutting it down. Our governor's shutting it down. We had people protesting at restaurants about the shutdown last night. Hanging out in the restaurants, in the crowd. Everybody, yep. the sheriff has announced he's not enforcing the shutdown
I
rules.
don't actually understand the fact that people are claiming it's against their human rights and stuff like that.
They're taking away freedom.
They're basically giving you the right to live.
Yeah.
By keeping you alive.
Yep. It doesn't make sense. It does. And people act like, we've been in this shutdown long enough. I can't live another day like this. No, if you were saying shutdown, you're wearing your fucking mask. And if you weren't going to these restaurants and doing all these secret clubs and underground gambling and whatever else you guys have come up with to circumvent this would have been over. Or it would have been a lot worse. We wouldn't be in the dire straits that we are. Fuck everybody that's doing this. You act like people were stop hanging out. God damn it.
And on that unfortunate note, this is the end of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. We will, of course, be back
angry.
on Thursday.
I don't like leaving the show angry like this. I'm angry.
How would you like to? How would you? Come, Shark Tank me another gimmick.
No, it's over. It's over. I don't even. I'm just mad now. I'm just mad. Just angry at the world. America. That's it. I'm starting the United States of markets right here. Just in this shitty ass apartment I live in. We're starting the United States of markets right here. This is the beginning. This is the groundwork. I'm building a wall. Just done. Had enough.
How's your Postmates gonna get through?
Fuck! I'll grant them a visa. But I'll let them know American money isn't good here. That's COVID.
The Marcus bucks.
Yeah. It's Marcus millions. That's what this is. We don't even call it bucks and dollars. This is millions. Everybody's a millionaire. It doesn't change anything. We're poor people.
There you go. And on that note, this has been the end of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I have, of course, been Lord Manny Hayes, and he's been
Marcus, the grand finale. Tune in next time when we have a review of AEW and, of course, Impact Wrestling. Because why the fuck not?
Peace.
Deuces. Oh, you know who they remind me of? You see, I was leaving on a good note, and they remind me, these are the two who are probably protesting outside restaurants who are like, no shutdown should be happening here. No, Mr. Man, we're not going to wear our masks. We're going to cough on everybody and spew our anti-Billy Kay stuff. They're not even on TV. They're not even contenders. Asuka needs a contender. One of them could actually do it. But they're useless. They're trash. Just because they teamed up. Screw Pepe and Lele.
Pepe? Is she called Lele?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so, but I felt like I'm adding that to it. All right, Lele and Pepe. I don't need them. I didn't watch Tribute to the Troops at all.
No, neither did I. The only thing I did with Tribute to the Troops was make that meme, which got someone in the mid-card mess offended someone in the mid-card mess.
Oh, really? Why?
Because I wrote Sasha Banks was an iPhone 12 Pro. and then Bianca Belair as the iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Were they offended that you were comparing black people, or were they offended that you compared to an iPhone instead of Samsung?
I think they were more offended that I insinuated that one was better than the other one.
Oh. No, they didn't get the joke. One's bigger. It's the same phone. It's the same phone. I get them off my screen. I looked down too long, Manny. I feel like they're piercing through my soul.